when Destiny asked me, or we chatted, about doing this, I was like, I don't know, I can talk about anything, and one thing that I'm really passionate about is mindset and kind of really starting the day off right. I believe that mindset starts with your morning routine. I truly do. I go to bed at like 8:39 every day. I'm up at about 4:35, depending on the day of the week. And I know I saw it, Ashley. Yeah, it's early, but it's so nice because I mean I've already done so much work today, whether it was on myself or in my actual business, so where it will be in a good place. But I'm very big into morning routines. That's where I'm really going to focus in today, because to me that's where it all starts essentially, is if you do it in that sense. So I've got a little presentation. I'm just going to share my screen. Cool. Can someone give me a thumbs up and let me know you can see my screen? Cool. All right. So you guys, I don't know what your morning routine looks like. I always think it's funny when someone says, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm like, you're already on a diet. It just might be a crappy diet. All of us have a morning routine. It might be like, oh crap, I've snoozed it 5 times and now I gotta, put my face on and get out of here. I'm gonna be late for whatever, right? That could be your morning routine, or it could be something that's more intentional and purposeful. So for me, I started in 2020. I was at family reunion. And I was actually in a room that I didn't really want to be in. I was like, I don't want to hear the speaker. I don't know if you guys know Adam Hergenroth. Actually, I'm very close with him. But back in those days, I was like, I don't want to go listen to Adam speak again. And I ended up in this room, and I was part of Adam's team, Livian. And he said, if he goes, those that run with me get it, those that don't. And I was like, wow, I'm not running with Adam. So I started doing the morning routine. I started like really pushing and investing in my own self growth. And the transformation I've seen in myself, whether as a dad, a friend, a partner, or as a business leader, has been incredible. So, when you hear like some of the things that we go through this, you might be like, I don't know, that's kind of foo-fooey. Does it really work? I can tell you, my business was up 170% last year. So we almost doubled our business as a team. We have 17 agents across our team. So it does work. I promise you guys it does. And at the same time, I work Monday to Friday and I'm done by 5 every day. So, like with that, if you guys are like, yeah, he says he has a big business and yeah, he must work so hard and have no life. Well, I disagree with that, and you can have it. So it all starts in the morning to get that mindset right. I don't know if you guys know who Hal Elrod is. I love this quote of his. Remember, the moment you accept total responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you claim the power to change anything in your life. And when I was in that room with Adam and he was talking about, you know, if you don't run with somebody, you shouldn't expect the results with it. I mean, if you guys aren't fully all in with Place and you're like, why is Place not working for me? Why is this, my team leader's telling me to do this stuff and I'm only half doing it, you're gonna get half the results, right? So make sure you're playing all on. Otherwise, you're not really taking responsibility for everything in your life. So like I said, if you have a routine, you have one, whether you know it or not. I've seen all these people say "New Year, new me" on social media. I'm sure you guys have seen these posts like "New Year, new me," and I'm like, well, if it's the same you because you're doing the same actions, is it really going to be a new year and any different result? Probably not. It's probably going to be the exact same result. So, you know, we are limited on time, so I'm not going to go into sharing routines. That's something I've done in the past with this, but just think like if you're gonna have the same routine to get you going every day that you had in 2024, 2023, 2022, you're probably gonna have very similar results. So keep that in mind. New year, new me only happens when we change. So why do we have a productive morning routine? I don't know about you guys. I've got a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and once they're awake and going, I can lose some control of my day. I know once my clients can start calling me, at I don't know, when your clients start calling you. I've had clients start calling me as early as 7:30 in the morning. Once that starts happening, the emails start flowing. When one of my agents starts calling me, I lose control of the day. But I can win the morning and win the day by having that productive morning routine. So it prepares me for the rest of the day. I'm ready to rock and roll at a high level. A lot of people think I'm super jacked up on caffeine, and I do drink a little bit, but it's more because of this time that I spend investing into myself and getting my mind ready for the day. So it will increase your productivity. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm super focused in the morning, I'm able to do stuff at a higher level. If you get me at 4 in the afternoon, I'm like a washed out person. I can't really focus at the same level. But between, 4 a.m. and noon, I get so much done. You also feel like you're in control of the day. I don't know about you guys, but when you wake up late and scrambling, do you feel like the day is controlling you? Because I know I do. When I wake up and I'm like, I've already accomplished all these great things, I feel like I've already won. It gives me a lot of control. I have a lot less stress because I know what my day looks like. It's all lined out, it's good to go. It's very routine, and that keeps my stress levels lower. Also, it's healthy habits. I mean, who worked out this morning? Anybody? Nobody? No one got the blood flowing? It feels great once you do. I hate running. But I started running about 3 years ago. And if I go run 3 miles, I mean, my step count right now is about 8,000, and it's 8 o'clock where I am. So it's like, what have you really done to start pushing yourself? And what did your breakfast look like today? If you're scrambling to get out of bed, if you're scrambling to get going, you probably didn't eat the best breakfast, right? And then you're going to get that boost of energy. The thing I hate about running is running. The thing I love about running is the feeling afterwards, right? I don't know if you guys know what that's like. But after you run, you're like, whoa, I got all this energy. I feel so good. I mean, it's releasing endorphins into your system and all of that. So whether it's just your muscles feel good, whatever it is. But when I'm running, I just want to die. But afterwards, I feel great. Also, I believe we have more improved relationships. Who's had that morning with their kids where you're like, let's get going, and you're yelling and screaming and everyone's stressed? Or if you have like a nice flow in your morning with them, and same thing with your agents, wherever you walk into the office, you're stressed, you're bringing it in. But if you had a nice calm morning and you got your mindset right before you walked into the office, before you interacted with your spouse or your kids, also you have better relationships. Because I know this, if I'm running behind, my kids feel the stress, my agents feel the stress, my ops people feel the stress. But if I walk into the office calm and collected, they're all like, yeah, right. You set the tone. Also, you're not as forgetful because you have that mind ready to go. So, I know like when I'm running late, you ever notice this? If you're running late, you always leave something at home accidentally. Like, oh, I forgot that CMA, I forgot the folder, right? Well, when you're going with a nice, smooth, regular flow, you don't have that happen. And then you feel confident because you've already won the morning. So you're like, well, what else happens today? It's going to be good. Um, you need to be flexible though with it. So I'm divorced. I have my kids half the time, right? So my morning routine on my kid days versus my non-kid days is slightly different. So you need some flex in there. Does anyone travel? Am I the only one that ever travels anywhere? I hope we all travel because it's a beautiful, fun thing, right? So when I travel, is my morning routine going to be the exact same? No, it's going to change a little bit, right? So you got to be flexible about it because otherwise, I know like sometimes if I take too long off from like, working out, I feel weird. But sometimes you have to be flexible around it. Like if I go camping for 5 days, I'm probably not going to do the exact same morning routine. Now, here's what mine looks like, guys. My alarm goes off at 4:30. I'm usually awake before it goes off, just kind of sitting there, and all of a sudden it just goes off. It's kind of nice once you've really ingrained that time, and it doesn't need to be 4:30, right? For me, I want to be at the office by 8:30, so that's where that works. Also, with having two kids and wanting to spend time with them in the morning, that's what I need. But I write down gratitude, guys. I used to think it was stupid. I was like, what does that do for me, right? Me and my ex-wife, we had a shoebox full of our gratitudes, right? And if you had a day that you didn't feel so good, you open that up, you read one, it's amazing. Writing 10 gratitudes, the first time you do it, it's not going to take you 2 to 3 minutes. You're going to be like, ugh, right? Like, I don't know, what should I be grateful for, right? I think that's huge. Affirmations, I thought they were silly. I was with KW for some time, and when I heard about affirmations. I'm like, what does that mean? But it actually works. Journaling, yoga, it's either yoga or a different type of workout. Transcendental meditation. It takes 20 minutes. It changes my day every day. Future self, what that truly is I have written down who I want to be in 3 years. It's in 6 areas of my life. Like if you ever, taking different classes, there's different areas. There's, work, business, family, relationships, money, and it's where I want to be in those different areas. And I read that out loud every day. And if you think about this, when I read something out loud, and basically, if you see the next one on there, reviewing my daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly goals, I'm reading my 3 year goals out loud. And I don't know about you guys, you should all probably know what the RAS is or your reticular activator. If you don't, go look that up. But whenever I have my goals right in front of me and where I want to be in 3 years right in front of me, all of a sudden I see opportunities and doors I wouldn't have seen. I'm an inbox zero person. So every day I commit about 30 minutes of email in the morning. I also bookend my day with going back through email so that, there's maybe 7 emails in my inbox at any given time. And then my kids wake up at 6:30. I love having breakfast with my kids, and then we'll mess around, we'll play whatever that is, drop them off at school at 7:40. I jump back to the house, I shower, get dressed, and I run to the office. My team power up starts at 8:30, and that's what we do. So that's what mine looks like every day. And if you can see, it's not a lot of work related stuff, right? It's more life focused because that's where you walk into work and you have that super focused mindset. So gratitude, I don't know about you guys, but I am a huge believer. Attitude of gratitude. Every day, my power up for my team starts off with everyone saying one thing they're grateful for. And it's incredible. I'm like, when someone's like, I don't know what I'm grateful for, I'm like, you got heat, right? It's cold where a lot of you guys are in the Midwest, right? We have heat today. We have a roof over our heads. Like what that does for your mindset is incredible. If you look at the science behind gratitude, it's a big deal. It matters to be grateful for stuff. So if you're not doing it, I would highly encourage you to write down 10 things every day. My kids know when they come to the breakfast table, they're saying 3 things every day. It's funny when my daughter was like, I don't know, 3.5, 4, she looked down at her plate. She'd be like, I'm grateful for eggs, and it's funny seeing her develop, and now it's much more impactful and deeper stuff that she's grateful for. Affirmations. I don't know if you guys ever read, oh man, like on his name. It'll come back to me. But you can reprogram your brain, right? There's a guy, Joe Dispenza. If you guys haven't read Joe Dispenza, it's incredible. And doing affirmations, I mean, your neural pathways can be reprogrammed and changed, and the grooves in your brain can change. So I believe in affirmations, and it needs to be a powerful one that you truly believe in. And at first, it won't necessarily feel right, but then over time, it does feel right. And you'll be like, I am the best agent to sell someone's house, right? It could be that simple. It could be, whatever it is. Like I am really good with money, whatever it is. But I would get really into affirmations, and I believe that there's power in writing them down. And my handwriting's atrocious. But then after writing them down, I also say it out loud because when you hear yourself saying something, it programs your brain as well. So I would do that because it's going to change your mindset every day. And there's some days where you're like, the affirmation doesn't ring true, but over time it does. And I also mix my affirmation up probably about every month. Journaling, I used to think this was so silly. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, be like, Dear Diary, today this happened. I know people that there's like apps that have prompts and stuff. I literally just have 3 prompts that I go with every day. It's what did I learn? What did I do poorly? And what did I do well today? And then I just go with it and let it flow. And I just sit there and write it in this little book. I don't ever go back and look at mine. There's a pile of books that I have in my office. Maybe I'll do it one day. I don't know. But I truly believe it just lets it all out. We don't get better if we don't reflect. And that's what a journaling is going to do for you. It's going to help you reflect. And it's going to help you see like, man, this happened today. So I'll just kind of freewheel it. And I don't even, once I'm done, I just close the book and move on. But it releases so much from my mind so that I've reflected on the day and I can move forward and have a better mindset around it. Why do we move the body? I don't know about you guys. I'm 40 years old. Okay. I was not always in great shape. My dad retired at 66 and died over 3 years because he abused his body by overworking. And so to me, like we need to move our bodies. This is the one vessel that we have. As far as I know, we can't do a brain transplant or download our memory to someone else yet. Maybe one day, but for now, like this is what we got. So it doesn't have to be a whole lot. I A lot of days I just get on a treadmill and I'll do an inclined walk for 30 minutes. And during that time, you can also listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, right? There's a lot that can be accomplished while moving the body, but you guys take care of that body you have because it's the only one you got for now, unless science changes a lot. Transcendental meditation. I don't know if you guys meditate or not. I started doing that in 2020. And if you look at the science behind transcendental meditation, what it does to your brain is incredible. I highly encourage some sort of meditation. Just that mindfulness around your body, your mind, and all of that is so impactful. They also call transcendental meditation TM. So if you're looking for an outlet or something to add to your day, I mean, it is just one of the most incredible things that I do. I do it twice a day. And when I come out of it, even though I'm giving up 20 minutes of my time to it, whether it's in the morning or around like 2:30 in the afternoon, it refreshes yourself at such a level that when stuff happens, I mean, you guys have heard of like Teflon, it just bounces off you like Teflon. The voice in your head, I know we all have that voice in there that's always telling us that we're not good enough, we're not great. Why did I do that? It gives you worry and anxiety. It goes away with TM. I promise you it does. And then the future self, like I said before, I want to be so focused on my goals. Like who's bought a new car? You see that car everywhere, right? That's your particular activator. Well, I know like when my wife was pregnant, I'd see pregnant women everywhere because I was thinking about pregnancy all the time, right? Well, if I'm reading my goals every day out loud, and it takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to read them in those areas of my life, doors of opportunity will open in front of me and they'll open for you too. So whether you do this or some other thing, but future casting and visualization is essentially what you're doing when you're reading your goals in the future. Don't allow mediocrity to slip in, right? It's so easy to hit the snooze button. And what I see as the snooze button is your first failure of the day. That's what it is. It is the first failure of the day when you hit that snooze button. Because you're like, nope, I told myself I was going to get up at 5 a.m. I told myself I was going to get up this time, but we don't, and we hit a snooze button and we've already started failing. If you win that first battle with the mind, because the mind's like, you don't need to wake up yet. You had a long day yesterday. You signed a listing, like you can sleep in today. Don't let the mind beat you. Beat it the first time with the not allowing the snooze button to hit you. So when you start layered in, if you're like, I'm going to do this huge thing all at once, it's going to hurt and not be easy. But maybe like, okay, I'm going to go from waking up at 7 a.m. to 6:30, and I'm going to put two things in there. And then you get good at that and then keep going more. Get an accountability partner. I had with my team, we did this and we all were calling each other at 5 a.m. They loved it, getting phone calls from me at 5 a.m., but it really worked and it really transformed how our team operates. Do things that matter to you. So if you're like, I don't know about the affirmation thing, don't start with that one. Start with one of the things that actually matters. So you start to see results. Know why you're doing it, because you're doing it so that you're more resilient, that you're more impactful, and you can really go through the day feeling great. And then you got to force yourself to do it at first. It is not easy. I always find it's the best time to do it is actually November because that's when we get that free hour when time shifts back. But that's not going to happen for a while, right? With daylight savings. But just say, you know what, hell or come high water, for the next month, I'm waking up 15 or 30 minutes earlier, and then add more in there over time. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but that's where mindset comes from to me, is by doing healthy um, growth exercises in the morning. And that's really where I come to every day is I just want to give myself, the ability to do it. So I don't know, when talking about mindset, I just want to get really tactical with you guys and give you guys ideas on how to actually have the mindset because a lot of people don't have it.
I think it's really tactical because like a lot of people when we talk about mindset, it's just like have a good mindset or do these things, but it's really nice to be like these are the tactical ways of to improving your mindset. By meditation, by improving your morning routine. And like one thing that I really like that helps my morning routine that I learned from Chris is like even just putting out my gym clothes at night because then my brain doesn't have to think about extra things in the morning. It's just like on auto. So it's just like doing those things to make that morning routine easier. Um, Kind of like putting that into place. Or even every Sunday having every day have my gym clothes just ready. So it's one less thing I have to do every day because it's much easier just doing it at once.
Yeah, you want all those barriers out of your way. And if anyone really sucks at waking up, I had a team member that wanted to like wake up earlier. There's an app where it makes you do math on your phone when the alarm goes off. And so you don't get up, it won't go off until you solve three math problems. So it's a really good one. There's other fun stuff like that that you can do. But because we don't work an easy job, right? It's not easy at all. It's super simple. Wake up, lead generate, service your business, do it again, right? We all know it's not that easy. And 2025 is going to be kind of a nut kicker like 2024 was. I think 2026 will be too. I think there might be a rosier year come 2027. But let's be real about it. If we're resilient, we can grow our businesses. If we have the right mindset, it's not as hard. Like I see like Amy put in here like stuff she's doing in the morning. I'm sure that makes a big difference in your life. So if you're not doing a productive morning routine, it's hard to get the mindset right. That's the easiest place to start. So I would think, there's a great book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Don't read the real estate edition. It's not very good. Read his original one. But just start doing one thing. Get
Hmm.
really resilient mind wise, because if not, you're going to hit burnout. You're going to hit exhaustion.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions before Will has to hop off?
Cool.
Uh, all right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Will. I really appreciate it. Honestly, like the energy was fantastic and it was a great way to start the year.